Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this Saturday morning, we're here to take over the whole world. Yeah. Welcome to the side, Jawn, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing out there? Good morning to everybody. You know, I am Dennis Holmes. I'm here with the chocolate girl. Sharon.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hey, Dennis. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yes, I am.
How's your week been? Has it been a good week for you?
Yes, it's been a real good week. It's been a good week.
Well, I had a pretty good week. You know, last weekend I went to see my family and we broadcasted from where I was, and it was a good time with my family. Man, it was a good time. It's so good to be with your family. And you could tell it was a while since we had been together. So when we got together, everything was like, oh, really? And so what's going on? And what you do? And what you do? And what do you do? And it was just like that. But it was worth it. It was just worth just being there. We didn't even have to do anything. That's how our family rolls, though. But shout out to my cousins who set the whole thing up. They had a lot of activities for us to do, fun things for us to do. And it was really, really a good time. And you could feel the ones that's passed on. You could feel them in the room, in the house. And it was good to love up on my aunt, who's one of the matriarchs, or she is the matriarch that's from those three kids from my grandparents on my mom's side. So it was really, really a good time. My son got to come with his family and kids and everything, and my sister and her kids and her grandchildren. It was just fun. It was just a good time. So I needed it. It rejuvenated me in a certain way.
That's great. Now that's great. Because it's always good times when you see family.
Not always.
I just be wondering, I don't think we should be spending a whole lot of time over there. That's what I was telling my cousin one time. She's like, oh, we need to go over there, once a month. I was like, maybe not. I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get there once a season. I don't know about no once a month.
Once a season. Well, I think it's sometimes you do need to, put some distance or whatever, and I get it. But yeah. But we get along. Our family, we love each other and we get along. So it's usually not a problem when we get together.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's good. It hasn't been no issues lately. I don't want to say like the last 10 years. Ain't been no issues in the last 10 years. Yeah.
That's good.
But sometimes it was a little tricky, you know what I mean? But
here's the one thing I always think about. I always think about the fact that we choose our friends. We don't get to choose our family in most cases.
No.
So you love them. You love them, right? And everybody's got faults. Everybody's got strengths and weaknesses. I do. I'm not perfect. So I try not to, hold people to a higher standard than I hold myself. I can't give myself a pass and give them no passes. You know what I mean? I try not to be like that. So.
That's absolutely right. Now, also in this week, Cinco de Mayo came up, and I'm not, Mexican at all, but on that day I do drink. I do drink heavy. I'm just gonna say that.
Did you do that? Did you do it?
Yes, we had a happy hour in the Zoom with Sweet Love TMA on Thursday. It was a really good show. Really good show. Played a couple of drinking games and asked some questions. Really good show.
Oh, I wasn't there.
And then what's that? Friday. What happened Friday? The WNBA started the season. The Friday WNBA started the season.
Dennis, so this is one of the, besides last season was the greatest start of the season they'd ever had.
Okay.
And I haven't seen the numbers yet because it's too soon to see them, I believe. But I want to see how this first 4 weeks go. But I can tell you already, I've seen more buzz about it than I've ever seen. I'm really loving it. But I'm not settled. I'm unsettled because Brittany Griner is still in Ukraine.
I thought I seen something about she's on her way back or something. I could be
Well,
wrong.
I missed that. Put it in the comments if you've got a correction. But as far as I know, she's still in the Ukraine and the season has started. She's missing her money. And I'm hoping that they still pay her, but you know, you never know.
You do never know.
I just hope she gets home safely. Well, there's a whole lot of things going on before we get into the actual show. May the 2nd, this past week, was a special day back in 1963 in the Civil Rights Movement. Down in Birmingham, Alabama, there were 700 Black children that participated in the Children's Crusade. Now, the Children's Crusade was started by Martin Luther King Jr. and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And the idea was to have these children peacefully protest racial segregation in Birmingham, Alabama, one of the hottest places in the Civil Rights Movement. And they marched peacefully, and they refused to give up despite the police commissioner turning water hoses on them, sicking dogs on them, beating them with batons. These children refused to give up. And when I say children, I really mean children. They were in high school, probably some as young as middle school, but they were on their school buses, and they put them on school buses and took them to jail, beat them up, all kinds of things, right? They refused to give up. So, but the next few days, I think 7 days later, on the 10th, by May the 10th, Birmingham was desegregated. So because of these children who refused to give up no matter what, Birmingham became desegregated. But they were still trying to get these children because the school district was going to either suspend or expel these children.
Wow.
Federal government stepped in, said, you can't do that. And if it wasn't for the federal government at that time, these children would have been out of school. So it took a federal court to reverse that. And these children were allowed to go to school, and Birmingham was desegregated. So that was May 1963. What you think about that?
That was actually good. I didn't know that happened on May 2nd, 1963.
Yeah, it's the Children's Crusade. I'm telling you, you can learn a lot about that from the Civil Rights Movement. I really wish that we saw more of this today. It shouldn't take someone being murdered in the street for people to protest. It's something that we should be actively doing all the time. This is the reason why younger people don't think protest works, because it's not really organized and galvanized. It's put together in a hurry when something terrible happens. And this wasn't a result just of something terrible. This was an ongoing movement. That's why it was effective. But also, on a lighter note, guess what happened 57 years ago on May the 4th? It was a great sports feat. Any guesses?
No guesses. I'm gonna let you go
no
ahead
guess?
And tell everybody.
All right. So 57 years ago on May 4th, the great Willie Mays broke the home run record with his 512th home run. And he was playing for the San Francisco Giants at the time. Boo. But anyway, he was playing for the Giants at the time. He's one of the greatest to ever do it, Willie Mays. So that was May the 4th, 57 years ago.
Shout out to Willie Mays.
1965.
Now, B. Striller also said that she's in Russia and she should be home by May 15th.
Okay. She's in Russia. Okay, that's fine. Great. That's what I wanted. I wanted somebody with the real deal to put it in the comments. So thank you so much, B. Striller.
B. Striller in the building. He got a show coming on later on the day, 4 p.m. The Extra Point. Make sure y'all tune in and check that out.
Thanks to everybody watching this morning. Give us a shout out in the comments. But yeah, that's what happened on, those days. Now, here recently, did you hear the big controversy this week seems to be what happened on First Take as far as sports is concerned, when JJ Reddick was addressing the comments that Mad Dog made about Draymond Green. Did you hear about that or see any of that?
Yeah, when I think he told him to shut up and dribble.
Yeah, he was like, he said America is tired of hearing from Draymond Green. America. Who's America?
Well, okay, I'm gonna tell you how he said it. He said, I could tell you 30 million other people that don't want to hear from Draymond Green, that love the Bob Costies of the world, and talking about Bob Costy and
Cousy. Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy, I'm sorry, Bob Cousy. Yeah. And all the old Knicks players and stuff like that. And I was like, well, Draymond did get a talent deal from TNT. Like, it ain't that people don't want to hear. People do want to hear what Draymond has to say.
They want to hear what he has to say. And JJ Reddick laid that out. Yes, he did say that. He started out with Americans is tired of Draymond Green. And Stephen A. Smith looked and JJ looked like, what are you talking about, dude? And then JJ, I'm not a big fan of JJ Reddick. Okay, I'm not. I think a lot of the times he comes across as being one of those crass people, one of those people whose whole objective is try to shut you down and make you look stupid. That's his whole objective. It's not really informing the public. It's just to get at you. And I don't deal well with people like that. Just say what you got to say. You don't have to try to come for me. We can have a discussion without you coming for me all the time. But that just seems to be how he's been portrayed on First Take since he's been there. And a lot of the things he says I don't agree with, but many things he says I do. And this one in particular, I agree with 100%. I feel like Mad Dog he's tone deaf. That's what he is. He's an old played out radio host who's tone deaf. And he looked ridiculous on TV by saying that.
Yes, he did look ridiculous by saying that. He could have just said that. Well, I don't know what he could have said, but he did look ridiculous by saying that. I don't even understand why would you even say, nobody wants to hear what Draymond has to say. Obviously they do. He also has a podcast that's doing very well.
Yeah, he does.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, and Mad Dog, to his credit, he may be right. There are thousands or hundreds of listeners that call his show talking about they don't want to hear Draymond Green. But who is his demographic? It'd be interesting for us to get that data. Who's his demographic? Who listens to Mad Dog right now? Not who you listened to him 30 years ago. Who's listening to him now? That would be very interesting to see. Because he's been around a long time. I remember hearing him just in my travels, when we would be traveling through that part of the United States, and he would be on the radio.
Mad Dog is a legend. I think he will go down in the Radio Hall of Fame. I think he'll go down in the Radio Hall of Fame. Mad Dog is a legend. But sometimes you're a little past your prime, player.
Yeah, I just think he needs to have a seat. I just think that he needs to give commentary on the game. But as far as critiquing the players and their personalities, he needs to leave that part alone because he doesn't understand this generation at all. That's one. And number two, Politics is in everything. That's just the way it is now. You can't separate it any longer. Utopia is gone. So that's the only thing I wanted to say about that. It's just you cannot keep walking around here saying shut up and do whatever. Because can we say to him, oh, shut up and just go do radio? Get off my TV? He'd be offended. Then his fans would be up in arms.
Right.
What up, June Pierre in the comments, and BJ, JB, B Strilla. Who else is watching the side Jawn this morning?
We got AB watching this morning. We got Rob Whitney watching this morning. We have
what's up, Rob?
We got Jay Jones watching this morning. Yeah, we got a couple people watching this morning, man. Oh, we got right. OT in the house.
Who?
OT.
Ollie. Okay, what's up?
Man, Ollie's in the building. The OT radio show. OT's in the house, man. Shout out to OT.
I don't know where Sister Sheila is this morning. I expect to see her in here, but I'm sure she's got something going on.
I'm actually happy that Mad Dog is on First Take. That's me personally. I'm happy that Mad Dog is on First Take.
Why? Tell us why.
I've never seen his face.
Okay.
When I never see their face when they've been on radio for so long. Like, you've been on radio for a while. Let's see your face. You know what I mean? I love your voice. Obviously, I love your voice. Now let's put a face to it.
Well, there's a documentary I'll recommend to you on Mad Dog and his co-host. I can't ever remember who the other person's name is.
Right.
From his radio show. There's a documentary out on them.
Okay.
So just search for that and you'll see a lot of his face. But their story is interesting. But here's the interesting thing about having Mad Dog on First Take. I am still waiting to see all over social media people saying, I am sick of hearing Mad Dog yelling and screaming. Because that's all I hear people say about Stephen A. Smith. I get tired of Stephen A. yelling. I don't want to hear and listen to nobody yelling.
You only hear them people say that about.
Well, Mad Dog. No, I hear some of us say that too.
No, that's Mad Dog. I'm talking about us. It's us. It's only
Mad Dog.
I'm tired of that.
Mad Dog yells louder than Stephen A. Smith. Right. He's louder than him. And I mean, he's just straight screaming the entire show every Wednesday. So much so, I stopped watching it on Wednesdays. I can't watch it. I have to watch it in doses. I can't watch it straight through. It's that annoying to me. And I love Stephen A. Smith. I don't know. I'm just waiting to see it. I wonder why I'm not seeing that when he's louder, more obnoxious, and doesn't know what he's talking about much more than Stephen A. I just don't get it.
Well, I don't say that. I don't like to say that. Don't know what they're talking about. I don't like to say that because obviously somebody paying them, so they like the way he talk. That's the way I see it.
Oh yeah, of course they're paying him. Doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about. But you get paid to be on TV, whether you know what you're talking about or not. That's why Nick Wright is on Fox Sports 1.
And he got his own show.
Right. And he's still on there talking nonsense.
Right. As OT just said, Mad Dog brings the ratings.
He brings the ratings. Wednesdays is their highest rated show for the week. But he's yelling and screaming. The same, yelling and screaming people said they didn't want to see before Mad Dog got there. It's just really interesting to me. That's all. But interesting.
But okay, I hear you with that because I just don't like when I hear black people say it. That's what pissed me off. And I was trying not to say that, but I'm gonna say it now. I don't like when I hear black people say that because there's always a hate on Stephen A. Smith. He can't do no right. He's always wrong.
I agree.
And I'm like, we don't have nobody else on TV like this every day on ESPN.
Nope. Not in this way.
Top dog on ESPN.
Yes, he's across 3 shows.
Right.
At least 3. Then he guest appears on other shows. And he's probably the most respected journalist at ESPN right now.
I have to agree.
Arguably.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I've followed him ever since the beginning. I like him. I like his journalism style. He could teach a master class on it. Really.
But when First Take first started, him and Skip used to argue at each other all the time when they first started.
Yeah.
That's what made people want to watch First Take. That's why it switched from Cold Pizza to First Take, and them two started arguing all the time.
Right.
And everybody used to say, as soon as the game went off that night. They
actually got that started on TV.
Yeah, as soon as the game went off that night on social media, then the next, like, as soon as the game went off on social media, you'll see, I can't wait to watch First Take to see what Skip and Stephen A. gonna say.
That's right. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I miss him and Skip together. I wish Skip would come back. I really do. I like them together. I do. I like him and Skip together. I didn't agree with a lot of Skip said. I don't agree with everything that Stephen A. says. I don't. I think some of the things he says are not correct, my opinion. But I do love him though. Oh yeah, Josh says people need to go watch Stephen A. Smith on The Breakfast Club. I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen it.
I've heard about it.
And he break down his contract and he tell you about everything. I've seen it. I've also seen him on All the Smoke. I've also seen him on The Pivot, which I'm so glad that Channing Crowder. I'm so glad Channing Crowder asked him about his personal life with the women and everything, because nobody asks him about that. And I'm so glad Channing Crowder asked him that question.
Oh, I definitely have to watch that then.
Yeah.
But I did see him on All the Smoke. I did see that.
Right.
And the fact that he straightened out everything and all these rumors about him and Molly, it's just crazy. When I first saw that, I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. They break up, and the first thing these people gravitate to is she messing with Stephen A.
Yeah.
What? He's a lot of things, but he's not that. No, and him and Jalen are boys. Do you understand? They don't understand. They've taken trips together on the low. Okay? Jalen does not take trips with people he don't feel. Okay? Neither does Stephen A. I'm just like, y'all are crazy. They just, the hatred for Stephen A is just ridiculous. But we can move on. I just thought I'd bring that up. I just thought it was.
Let me just say why I say I like the one on The Pivot. Let me say it, because on The Pivot, Channing Crowder asked him about, where I see you all the time. I don't see you with no women. Where your girls? I know you're getting plenty of women now. Where your girls? And he said, I don't put my personal life, my professional life. It's separate. And I let every woman I meet know that from the beginning. These don't interfere. And I was like, he does a great job with that. But he said when he had the girls in the house and the family come over, he said all his sisters, every time, no matter what girl come over, they was like, another one? They all say it all the time. He said all the time. He said, all my sisters say it all the time. He said, as soon as they come, another one? That's all they ever say.
Let me tell you, the way he talks about his sisters, I want to meet his sisters. That's how much I love the way he talks about his sisters, especially the one that cooks. I can't remember her name right now. I can't remember her name, but
she cooked just like his mom.
Right. She's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember her name. But I tell you, the way he talks about his sisters, I just love it. You want to address the comment in the comments, or do you want me to?
I said, Jonathan Benton said, them days of cold pizza, he was laughing. I like to see Stephen A. and Uncle Shay on the same show. I don't know why Uncle Shannon Sharp ain't invited him to Club Shay Shay yet. That's one I want to see. Ali said no on the pivot. Darius English said, I lost respect for Stephen A. Smith. He's the definition of a coon. That's the black people thing that I was talking about right there. So always somebody saying that. Jonathan said that's a divide and conquer tactic. Agreed. Black people are always trying to hold each other down. Then they be the first one saying why we can't build up together. Terrible.
Right.
That's terrible.
Right. I'm just like, no, he's not the definition of that word, which I refuse to say. I refuse to call another black person that word. I'm not doing it. Not knowing our history and what we've been through, I'm not using that word to describe anybody. Even if they fit the definition of it, I'm not going to use it. Because what that does is that gives them, and we know who them are, it gives them another check mark, another box crossed off, got another one to go against their own people. Right. You don't understand. You evidently do not understand.
Yes, he did. He did put a lot.
He doesn't do the tearing down. I think people need to understand the difference between tearing down and literally commenting on what somebody does and saying what they think about it. I don't have any problem. He's paid to do that and he's on TV. The problem is a lot of people in this day and age of media, you're looking to media to tell you what to think. We didn't look for media to tell us what to think. We didn't care what they showed about black people on TV when I was coming up in the 70s. We didn't care what they showed. If they showed us skinning and grinning, scratching and shuffling, and y'all saw balls and all that, we didn't care because I had a mama and daddy that showed me that that's not how we were. So we didn't look to media for what you guys are looking for media for in this younger generation. This is not a put down. I'm not tearing anybody down, Darius. I'm just telling you the facts. And I get very incensed when you guys try to say he's tearing down the black man. You know who primarily plays in the NFL, in the NBA? Black players. So who is he going to talk about more? And also, when I see that the black person messing up, who does it hurt more? Other black people. It hurts us more. If we see somebody who's not black looking terrible in the public, it doesn't hurt us as much. So yeah, we may not speak with as much venom talking about them because it doesn't hurt us as much. But when you say this black player was driving drunk, driving 80-something miles in the 35 with the girlfriend in the car, and he crashes and kills somebody else, yeah, I'm going to talk more about him because that's another black man that's going to be in prison from our culture, in prison. So hell yeah, it makes me more angry. And yes, I'm going to speak more passionately about that particular player than I am going to speak probably even about this. I can't even remember his name now. This other white player who had just gotten his third DUI about 3 weeks prior to that incident. I didn't say anything about him. Not a word. So stop being so quick to say Stephen A. Smith tears down and he's the COON word. He is not. He's further from that than anybody I know. And if you ever took the time to research him and what he does for black people, especially here in the state of North Carolina, you wouldn't say that. I'm off my soapbox now.
I'm gonna have to say I agree with everything that you said.
Thank you, sir.
And I also want to tell you, Darius, name me a lot of other black people that's on TV every day.
Here we go with the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady stuff. Are there more white people that play sports than Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady? Are those the only two white athletes that we know? That we got to pin a whole characterization of a broadcaster on these two athletes because he doesn't say stuff the way you want him to? So let me just tell you this. Let me tell you this. I know I said I was off my soapbox, but I'm back on it now because Darius said something. And I'm going to raise this point. On our other great show, Talk Your Ish Tuesday. Every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Facebook Live Eastern Time. Okay. Every Tuesday. Been there 3 years, right? We had a discussion talking about what happened to the Brooklyn Nets. What's your favorite saying? Say it, Dennis.
Where Brooklyn at?
Yeah, okay. All right. So we had this discussion, and I said KD had a terrible series. And then with wasn't it the Celtics that eliminated them? Who was it? What team was it? Wasn't it the Celtics? Who was
Celtics,
it? Yeah. Okay. And I said he had a terrible series with the Celtics. He really did not play well. He was terrible. But I can't put all the blame on him. And I said it starts with the owner, bringing Steve Nash, blah, 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 and went on. And you and Ron got on my case because I did not talk about KD's role in it like you thought I should. So you said I was giving excuses.
Right.
This is the same thing going on right here with Darius. He's doing the same thing because Stephen A. Smith doesn't talk about Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers using the words and the venom that he thinks he should have. He's going to label him the COON word.
Why ain't labeling you that?
It's foul. No, I'm not saying that you're labeling me that, but you said I was an excuse maker. But no, it's the same thing. And this is the reason why I am so passionate about it when I talk about this. You can easily mischaracterize somebody just because you don't hear them using the words or the tone that you think they should use. And it's not fair. It is not fair to do that. Just say you don't agree and keep it moving, but you don't have to characterize them in a certain way. That's what he's doing to Stephen A. Smith. That's why I was so upset about it 2 Tuesdays ago. That's why. I just want to spell that out to you, Dennis, so you can understand. Don't do that to me. And I don't do that. I try not to do that to other people. If I do, call me out. I'll gladly take my licks. But I'm just saying, it's wrong. It's wrong. Don't do that.
His thing is a little bit more deeper because
oh yeah, it is. It's not the same as my example. I was just comparing it on the surface.
Because he's really just basing it off of Kyrie and KD. He's not putting the contents in there that Kyrie's going on social media saying stuff about Stephen A. Smith. You know, he's not going on there saying none of that. You know, right? How many times you actually seen, you know, Tom Brady actually say something about Stephen A. Smith or Aaron Rodgers? They don't say nothing about Stephen A. Smith.
No, Darius, you don't need to come on our show because see, I'm not going to be on here just arguing about that. I'm not going to do it. And plus, I don't like that word. We don't use that word here, and I don't want to say it. And I'll be pissed off and walk off the set because I'm not sitting around anybody using that word around me. Just don't. Nope. Maybe you should have a show. Invite us on. I'll come on your show. But no. Nope. That's okay. We good. In the words of Steph Curry, I'm good. Steph Curry, Chef Curry.
You're gonna need all that tonight. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, since that's over, I think the only other thing that happened to me this week was the Sixers one. So the only other thing that happened to me this week. But besides that, let's go ahead and get into our Mom Dukes is the real MVP. Shout out to all the mothers in the world. All the mothers in the world. Shout out to all the mothers in the world.
Yes. Now, tomorrow's Mother's Day.
Now I know, you know, your mother's near and dear to your heart. So what are the things that you think made your mother special and help guide you through your life?
Well, first of all, my mom, she passed away in 2017. But my mother was a beautiful woman inside and out. The thing, that I could say most about my mother is she taught lessons. She taught lessons without even trying to teach a lesson, just in the way she carried herself. If teaching by example was a person, it was my mother. Plain and simple. She always carried herself with grace and dignity and self-control. And she's a large reason for who I am today. Why I try not to get so upset. Remember, I was telling you, I don't like to lose my cool. I get that from my mom. Then my father was one who was kind of a hothead. He could be a hothead and he can get you told too. But my mom could tell you off and you don't realize you told off until 4 days later. And watching her, I'm serious. You don't even really, you'll be sitting around, wait a minute. She told me off. And you mad as hell, but you can't do nothing because mom's gone. It's 4 days later. Oh, well, you missed your opportunity. So I just, my mother really, really embodied that. She's like a walking lesson. And if you watch her, everyone who knew her will tell you the same thing. People that don't know each other, white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, Jewish, Christian, atheist, it doesn't matter who they were. She's got all these people that know her. His mom, a lot of people knew my mom. And if you go to them and ask them to tell you about my mother, they all say the same thing. She is a woman of grace and class and self-control. She was very soft-spoken, but she's very serious. And my mother didn't take no crap. She instilled in me the most important lesson, I believe, if I had to pick one, there's so many that she instilled in me, is to always remember to be seen. You never let someone ignore you or treat you like you're invisible. Never. And you got to remember where my mom, the time my mom comes from, growing up in Virginia. That's the South. She grew up in Virginia. She knew racism, Jim Crow, all that firsthand. She, this is so hard. I didn't know this was going to be this hard, to keep it together without crying. But I'm doing it, Sheila. My sister's in the comment. So seeing my sister in the comment, I'm getting some strength here. So thank you, Sheila. And Mom said, Sheila said that that's a great description of Mom. She was a walking lesson. She was. And when people still talk about her today, they still can talk about her clearly with those same characteristics, those same lessons. Everyone learned something from her, even people who didn't know her that long. And, I miss her. That's all I can tell you right now. I just miss her. What about your mom? What's one of the greatest lessons you learned from her?
One thing about my mom is she was, like how they say, straight up, no chaser. She give it to you that way, straight up, no chaser. She is not holding nothing back. She ain't sugarcoating nothing. She telling you just straight up that way. Like for example, I remember I was younger, and I had like a pair of holy drawers, and she was doing the laundry, and boy, she cussed me out the whole day. Like just cussed me out the whole day about your parents, the way you look. You're a big guy. You ain't supposed to be having no holy drawers. What if you go see a girl? I'm like, ain't you the same one that told me don't be messing with these girls up? Now is if you go see her. And then she was like, that ain't what I said. Listen what I'm saying. Now, all right, listen. So from that point on, and a lot of girls that I've been with since then, they always ask me, why do you keep buying so many drawers? I was like, you always got to have some fresh drawers. Ever since that day my mom cussed me out, I've always got some fresh drawers. Okay, that's it. And the crazy thing is, I think I was like 12, and she cussed me out like that, and I've always got fresh drawers. And I was buying drawers every time I went to Walmart. I go to Walmart, I gotta get some drawers. And they was like, but you got packs of fresh drawers at the house. Yeah, I need some more. I'm gonna get some more drawers. It was to a point that my daughter's mother, shout out to her, happy Mother's Day to her, she had to stop me from buying drawers. Like, you're not buying no more drawers from Walmart. You have enough. Yeah.
You bought too many.
I bought too many. I had a whole, you know, one of them storage bins? I had a whole storage bin full of fresh drawers.
Lord have mercy. You wanted to make sure you never ran out.
I wasn't getting cussed out for that ever again.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, it's funny, since we're giving examples. Here's an example of my mom telling somebody off, and I don't believe they knew they were told off until later. So my mother was the only Black administrator in the Kettering City school system. Okay. She was in charge of the entire food service program. So she was the administrator over the whole program. When she joined the administration, the food service program was in the red. They were operating in the red, losing money every year for years. After 1 year, she turned it around and they were in the black. 1 year. One day, she got a call from a parent. A parent was upset about the school lunch. Sheila might remember what the issue was. I don't remember what the issue was. But what I do remember is that he did not realize that mom was a Black woman, right? Because, you know, they've never had a Black administrator. And when she spoke, you didn't know who you were talking to. You just knew it was a woman. And by the time she got finished with the conversation, she had told him off about himself and some of the things that he was saying in the conversation that would be offensive to a Black person. He didn't know he was talking to a Black person. So she stood her ground and said what she had to say. But I bet you when the article came out about how she had turned the school system around and her little Black face was in the paper, he probably knew it then. Oh my gosh. And I just said all this to her on the phone. Because the article came out soon after. And she's right there with her Black face and her red jacket on. I won't forget it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. What Sheila was saying, that both of y'all parents tell y'all the truth, no matter what.
If you don't want to hear their opinion, don't ask. They'll tell you what they thought, which may not agree with what you wanted to hear. And that's the truth. And you know how you were saying your mother, she's straight up no chaser. Yeah. Like, tell it like it is. She doesn't sugarcoat it. That's my dad. My mom might sugarcoat it a little. And she's going to say it in a Claire Huxtable kind of way. Claire Huxtable reminds me of my mom. Because she'd find a way to just, she didn't have to raise her voice, get loud. She wasn't animated, but she could tell you clean the hell off and not miss a beat and turn on her heel and walk on up out of that room. And you better not say another word. She got that from my grandmother. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But she was great.
I remember another time I was in high school, had my first official football game. Wasn't a scrimmage, my first official football game, and my mom came to the game. And, you know, I was kind of shocked that she came to the game. And, you know, I looked in the stands and I was like, oh, man, my mom here. I'm about to go off. And so my homie was like, what happened? I said, yeah, my mom here. I'm about to go off. That's what's happening. So the first play, I remember the first play, and I was playing offensive line. I was playing guard. My job was I had to go block the linebacker.
Were you left or right?
I was right guard.
Left or right? Right guard. Okay.
I was right guard.
Mm-hmm.
I went, and instead of me blocking the linebacker, I went and I smacked the hell out of him. And then I went and I pointed to my mom, and I got a penalty. And so I get back to the sideline and the coach was heated. Like he took me out the game and everything. And I ain't even care. I was like, Coach, my mom here. That's all I was worried about. But you got to have more control than that, Holmes. Maybe. Now I'm thinking, I was probably said this in my head, maybe, but my mom's here. I really didn't care.
You had to show out.
So after the game, so here's the funny part. After the game, we win the game, right? We win the game, everything going on. So I go to my mom, how you like the game? Who is this little girl calling your name like this? Mom, what? You're supposed to be watching the game. I was sitting over there, and this little girl talk about something. Oh, they go din, this and that. Who is this little girl calling your name like? My actually like the game, and you over here worried about some girl. I don't even know who you were sitting next to.
She wasn't even paying attention to that block or nothing that you did.
Right.
She didn't care about that. She just want to know who this child is saying your name.
Her line has always been, since me and my brother, because she got 2 boys, since me and my brother was younger, her line has always been, all them little girls ain't nothing but a hoe or a hussy. Her line has always been there. It's never changed. So girls used to be like, oh, I want to meet your mom. I'd be like, listen, you ain't nothing but a hoe or a hussy too. I don't even know why you even want to go there. You ain't nothing but a hoe or a hussy.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Being a mother of a boy is interesting. And I wondered if other mothers told their sons similar things to what I told mine. And I see your mom did. I didn't necessarily say all of them were those 2 words, but what I did tell him is to be careful. The lessons I told my son is to be careful, never be anywhere alone with them, ever, never. And don't play hidden with them because they'll turn that play hidden into abuse and you'll be locked up. That's what I've always said. Don't play hidden. Don't be alone with them. Don't be touching on them. These girls nowadays can spin it into anything that it's not. And then your life is ruined. Don't do it. So that's the kind of lessons I've taught my son. Plus, I had a shotgun next to the front door since my son was 2, because chicks been fighting over my son since he was 2 years old. It don't make no sense. It makes no sense. But when little babies was crying because of the daycare, they moved their pumpkin seat away from him. And they would get up, because they're walking by then, pulling the pumpkin seat back down to get next to him. And he was 2. These are like 2-year-old kids, 3-year-old kids. And these little girls were fighting to sit next to him in the pickup line, because they used to line up the seats and put the children in the seats with their bags right there. And all you had to do was walk in and pick up your child and go. I would come in and he'd be sitting and the girls be crying. Well, what's going on? Girl, they crying over, do you have a shotgun by your front door? I said, yep, ever since he was born. Because I already knew. I knew his dad. I know what this is going to be. And as he got older, I guess my attitude about it, he wouldn't bring girls to meet me either. He would not. Or if girls came, it would be like, how you doing? Bye. He wouldn't have them around long. Until he met this one.
That's what's up.
And now I got my grandbaby.
Happy Mother's Day to her.
Yep, it's gonna be her first. Well, actually, she's got another child, but with my grandson, it's gonna be her first Mother's Day. So this is gonna be great.
That's good. That is definitely good.
Well, let me read this comment. JB said, I hate when this thing comes up. My mom taught me patience and how to approach situations tactfully. Yep. To use my words instead of trying to make a physical fight, and that not every battle is worth fighting. Very good lessons to learn. We learned those same lessons. Did you learn those lessons, Dennis?
Yes.
Yeah. Every battle is not worth fighting. You don't have to fight about everything. Pick your battles. That's true. And as a mom, I had to pick my battles with my child. You couldn't just raise saying, about everything that he did all the time. I can't do that.
Definitely can.
Yep. I got a question for you, Dennis.
Okay.
Is there anything that you ever wondered about your mom when you were little? And now that you're an adult, especially with your own child, it makes sense to you what she did back then? Anything like that with you?
Probably the I think probably everything made sense later once I became a teenager. So I can't say once I had a child. Everything made sense once I became a teenager.
Well, yeah, when you got older. When you got older. Mm-hmm.
Because I was trying to figure out exactly, why was, education was so important to her. Like education, I'm like, people got GEDs. There's some people making all this money and finish high school. But then once I seen, how important education really is, and it was like, all right, I understand that. But I go to school every day. I'm going to get my education. I don't know why you so hard on me about it. But I understand. I understood once I got like a teenager.
Well, here's one thing. In our house, when you will walk in from the garage to the house, to the main house, the first thing you see when you will walk in the door is this counter that comes out of our kitchen. It's like a bar counter. And my mother used to have a fit about keeping that counter clean, right? And when we were little, we used to keep a clean house anyway. We had chores we did every week, every Saturday morning, we did them. House stayed clean all the time. Never had a dirty house. But if there were things left on the counter, I don't care what it is. It could be a cup, napkin, a book. You put your hat there. You're going to pick it up when you leave. She did not want it on the counter. When she walked in the house, she didn't want it to be on the counter. And we would ask her why. She said, when I come in, that's the first thing I see. And I just want it to be in order. Right? Long day. She done been out in the world, fighting the world as a Black woman. And she comes in the house, it's her respite. And she didn't want it to be all in disarray. We didn't understand that when we were little. I understand it now. As an adult, it leave your house the way you want to see it when you get home. That's my thing. You don't want to leave your house in an explosion because you don't know how you're going to come back. You don't know if you're going to come back mad, sick, somebody else with you, nothing. Leave the house pristine so that when you come back, it's inviting, it's there. And whoever's with you, you're not embarrassed, or you don't have to say, excuse my house or any of that. I understand that now. I didn't understand it when I was little.
Okay.
That's one. Okay. There's others, but that's one.
That was a good one. That was good.
Because you never know how you leave your house in order, because you never know how to return.
I get that when I get back, but then when you get back, you may be done, tired. You don't feel like doing nothing.
You may not ever come back. Then somebody else got to come in your house. Do you want them to see that? I mean, it's a thought. It's like you with the underwear. You know how they always say, always wear clean and good repair underwear when you leave the house, because you might have to go to the hospital. Yeah. That is real. I've been to the hospital. I've gone to school and had to go to the hospital from school. Thank God I had on some good underwear. You know what I mean? I'm gonna embarrass my mama. My sister said she also taught us, before you leave, take one more look back to make sure everything is in order and you didn't forget anything. Yes, yes, yes. That is so important. Nothing's worse than having to go back in the house 2 and 3, 4 times because you forgot something when you're trying to leave.
Yeah, that is the worst thing. And you know what the most recent thing has been with me? These masks. The mask.
Oh, yes.
The mask.
Sometimes I need that. You were supposed to be sending me that. I ain't got that yet.
I only got
one.
my
mask.
I'm waiting for Maureen to make me another one.
Okay, Maureen.
Shout out to Maureen.
Shout out to Maureen. I need a mask, Maureen. But I'll get out the car and I'm just walking in, and then somebody will come out the place with a mask and I'll say, Target. And I got to go back to the car and get my mask. Because I do forget, which is why my practice usually is before I leave the house now, is I put my mask on and I just put it down below my chin. So it's sitting there when I get out the car. And I can automatically have it to put it on. I do that before I even get in the car now because I'll forget it. But yeah, that's a good example. Is your mom famous for anything? Is there anything that everybody knows your mom for?
Everybody tends to love my mom.
Yeah.
They always, they always be saying that my mom is funny. I don't think she that. She does say some things that be like, "Man, you can't say that." You can't say. Why can't I say it? Because the grandkids gonna hear it. Them are your kids. These my grandkids, and they know who I am. But they your kids. You should be raising these kids. Okay. I only got one. Don't be blaming all the rest of these kids. I only got one. All right. We get into that a lot. Like, oh, these are your kids. No. This is your other son.
So they say she's funny. Has she ever said anything that just like embarrassed you in front of somebody? Like, oh God, I can't believe my mom is saying this.
Yeah, my mom. I remember it wasn't embarrassing. I was with this girl and I left. So they was in the house, they had a conversation. I get back. my mom went and, did what she was doing. This girl got like a whole new attitude. I'm like, what's wrong with you? She was like, I didn't know that you almost had, some other kids. I said, what? What that got to do with the price ticket China? Almost. That's all. You talking about some stuff that could have happened. What? She was like, yeah, your mom was telling me. Oh, God.
Oh, Lord. So she done told her all the secrets.
Right. You're talking about some past tense stuff. It didn't happen.
My mother was known for a lot of things, and everybody loved my mother too. But one of the main things she was known for was being able to cook very well. Like people would come from miles around. I know that sounds really cliche, but they literally would come to eat her food. And she was asked to cook food for many different things. And all of my friends would love to come to my house to get my mama's food. I don't care if it was a grilled cheese sandwich. It was something about the way she would make it. It would be different than anybody else's, and it would taste good. So, yeah, everybody love my mother's cooking. Yeah, and she taught us how to cook well.
That's what's up. June, as soon as I get them made, I definitely give one out to you. Soon as Maureen make them, shout out to her on Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to Maureen. I'm gonna tell you one thing though. Through my sister being a mother, I did learn some things through her. She got 2 daughters, and I got 1. She got 2, and she'll tell me stuff about the kids, and I'll be like, hey, I had no idea that little girls go through all this. She was like, yeah, and you gotta watch them. So she always be, and you gotta watch them because them 2 upstairs. Oh,
let me tell you, girls are a challenge. My mother had two daughters, and I knew how I was when I was young. So when I was pregnant, I begged God for a son. I couldn't raise me. I was a lot to handle. Sister, she'll tell you, she was perfect. She never got in trouble. She never did anything wrong. Let her tell it. She just never did anything wrong. So, but Sharon, I was always in trouble and had too much of this right here. Now, I know you can't imagine me having too much mouth, Dennis. I know you can't imagine that, but I did. I had too much mouth, and my mouth would get me in trouble. And so, anyway, stop. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I prayed for a boy, and I got my son, and I'm so happy. Because I don't think you probably would have ever met me if I had a daughter. I'd probably be in prison. That's what I say. Because if she was remotely like me, I probably would have had to hurt her. I really probably would have. Yeah.
You had to knock her in between the washer and dryer.
Yes. Between it. But anyway, no, this was good. This was good.
They got too much to say. That's what it is. But
yes, I do. But I will say, I learned a lot watching my sister raise her two daughters, even though I had a son too. Her first child and my son were born a month apart, and her daughter was born first, right? So watching her with her daughter, watch her daughter hit milestones before my son because she's a month older. They hit those milestones earlier. It was a learning thing for me. I did learn a lot watching her deal with her child and what she did. And we studied a lot of things from my mother and read books and did all kinds of things, similar things. And so, yeah, it was always a lesson. I love lessons.
It was definitely a lesson. I had to learn that early though. I had to learn them. And you learn a lot of lessons being a parent, but shout out to Sister Sheila. Let me say that too. Happy Mother's Day to you, Sister Sheila. Shout out to you.
Yep. Happy Mother's Day, sis.
Yeah, I had to learn those lessons early.
Sheila said she always talking about my mother. She said my mother was always added a large scoop of love into her cooking, and she always had enough. And that's true. It was always something to eat.
Definitely good.
Mom said, pick your battles. Don't aim to win the battle, win the war. Yes. Another lesson.
Lose the battle to win the war.
Mm-hmm.
That's the line I love to say a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to, we watch TV, movies, sports. I want to know in the comments for everybody that's watching, who was one of your favorite TV moms?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, TV moms.
You have a favorite?
I think I have a couple.
Okay.
We all love Claire Huxtable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to say I love the original Aunt Viv, and I'm gonna have to say I love on Martin, Cole's mom on Martin.
Cole's mom.
Yeah, Cole's mom on Martin.
Who was Cole's mom? I don't remember. Oh,
Brown.
What's her name? She always had her hands on her hips.
Right.
I forgot the name of the actor that played her. Oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Yeah, I liked her too. Is that it? Now, why did you like the original Aunt Viv, over the other Aunt Viv? Why?
I think the original Aunt Viv had more. She was more jazzy than the other one.
More what?
More jazzy.
What do you mean, jazzy?
Well, the original Aunt Viv danced.
Okay.
The other one didn't.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. Hey, in the comments, who y'all like? The original Aunt Viv or the second Aunt Viv.
Jay
You know
Jones
the
just
original.
said the dark skin one.
You know the original gonna win. Everybody liked her better. Everybody likes her better. I liked her better.
I don't think they gave the second one a identity. That's the thing. I think they just had her just carry along.
That's it. That's what I was going to say as my reason for liking the original Aunt Viv. My reason is the original Aunt Viv had better lines. They wrote better lines for her. And then the way that she would deliver those lines like this, like I'm not the, and right, jazzy. And then the second Aunt Viv was always just like, well, Ashley. It was just like that. It was just like night and day. So, yeah. Any other TV moms you like?
Jonathan Benton said throw in Harriet Winslow. He said the toss-up between Claire and OG Aunt Viv. Josh said Miss Laura. Who Miss Laura?
Oh, yeah. Her name. That's her name, Miss Laura. Miss Laura is the comedian that played Cole's mom.
That's right. Cole's mom. That's right. That's right.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you, Josh. I can't believe. Shout out to Josh Bailey. I didn't know Josh knew that.
I think it's better half told him that.
She probably told him.
Happy Mother's Day to her. Happy Mother's Day to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely said Happy Mother's Day to Charlene. Yeah.
Charlene Bailey. See the Seamoss family.
The Seamoss family.
Yeah,
Elite said that Aunt Viv was more realistic and more relatable. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said he watched Comic View. Okay, she was. Wow, good one, Josh. I forgot she was on Comic View.
She used to do her comments. Sometimes she had this bag with her. She have her purse with her. And she pulled some shit out of her purse. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I love Miss Laura. That was her name. Yep.
Now, who was yours?
Well,
Florida Evans.
Okay. I'm going to start with Florida. I love Florida Evans. I used to watch the Waltons, y'all. And I like Mrs. Walton. I just liked her because she was so calming. And she literally was a glue for the family. She kept everybody in line. I just loved her. And she ran the house, even though she let her husband think that he did. And that's what I really liked about her. And then, of course, you go forward, Louise Jefferson. Love Louise Jefferson. Because, the Jeffersons is like storybook of my life. People used to say my father reminded them of George. So I love Louise. And, of course, Claire Huxtable. She probably had to be the number one TV mom to me, is Claire. And Harriet Winslow, too. I love Harriet Winslow. I think my mother was more like Claire. Claire was more like my mother. I'll say it that way.
Oh, yeah. And the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah, I forgot. She's a mess. She be having me cracking up, boy.
I guess in terms of comedic value, she's one of my favorites because she was a complete mess. The funniest out of all of them was her when Robert got married and she interrupted the wedding. I will never, ever forget that episode. I could not. It's almost like I know it was fiction, but I'm watching the TV and my mouth actually hung open like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. What if this was real life?
There's some mothers out there like that.
I know. She made it all about her on their wedding day. I could not believe it. And then said, okay, continue on. Like she hadn't done anything. Like, what the hell? Oh my gosh. But anyway, Josh said Brady Bunch mom. I didn't like the mom. I never liked Mrs. Brady. I liked Alice. And I used to think Mr. Brady should get with Alice. I liked Alice. I didn't like Mrs. Brady
Mama
because I
Payne
thought
ain't
that
ready.
she let her little blonde haired girls get away with stuff. I ain't like that. But I like
Okay.
Mr. Brady.
Okay. We did the TV moms. Now let's do the movie
Hmm.
moms.
Okay, movie moms. Let me think. You got any in mind? I'm still
I
thinking.
like I like Della Reese from A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. I liked her as a
Oh
mom.
yes, when she came out there, she was like, "Oh, don't you?" Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She was about to beat her up when she was after she messed up his car.
Yeah, she threw windows through his car, threw a brick through her window. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her. Who else? You got anybody else?
I think who was another mom? Loving Basketball. That mom from Loving Basketball. The Cynthia, no, Sydney mom. The
I didn't
girl.
like her. I
I
didn't like
like
her role. I didn't like her role. And Sydney didn't have respect for her. So I didn't like her role.
I liked her.
I like the mom. My favorite movie mom is the mom in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah,
Trey's
that's
mom.
what now that's funny.
Yeah. Yes.
No,
Trey's mom.
not Trey's mom. The other one. What's the other mom name?
Oh, you mean Ricky's mom?
Ricky's mom.
No, that child she was
Ricky.
a mess. She was a hot
Ricky's mom.
mess.
My cousin would come to the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
My cousin would come to my house, right? And so my brother would always be out the house. So my mom,
Mm-hmm.
soon as I come in the house, my mom always say, "Well, where Rob at?" And he'd be like, "Every time I come here, your mom always asks where Rob. She don't care where you at. You could be out there in the danger zone. All she want to know is where Rob at. Y'all like the boys from Boys in the Hood. Like that's how your mom treats y'all. She more worried about where Rob at than where you at. I say, because I'm older, fool. That's why."
That's how it rolls. That's how it rolls with the older one. So Josh said Craig's mom from Friday too. And said Mama Payne. He like Mama Payne. You want Cole's mom. He like
Yeah,
uh
Cole's mom.
Martin's mom. And he like Brady Bunch's mom. Jay Jones said, "Yo, I forgot Florida Evans." And Lacey J said D Mitchell from Moesha. I like D. I like D. D was a stepmom. She was cool. And who was Brenda was the chick's name. Miss Brenda.
Okay.
But I liked Trey's mom, especially when she said, "You got to go live with your father because I can't raise him. It's time for him to come live with you." That's my favorite one of my favorite parts of the movie. Come get your boy. He got to come live with you. Mr. Furious Styles. Even the way she says his name. I love Angela. I love her, man. But yeah, I have to say that's my favorite movie mom.
Yeah, I think I got them all.
If you want to, I can count Jennifer Lopez in enough. I liked her now. She protected her daughter and got away from that man.
You can't forget Jennifer Love Hewitt. I don't even know what I was thinking. I cannot forget her. Probably played more mom roles than anybody I know of.
Who?
Did I say her name right? Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Who is that?
The one that played everybody's mom.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my gosh. What is
you're talking about Jennifer Love Hewitt is a white actress.
Oh Lord.
And she's about 20 years younger than the woman that you're talking about. You're talking about Jennifer Lewis.
Her name is Jennifer Lewis.
Her name is Jennifer Lewis, and she's everybody's mom in every black movie there is just about.
Oh my God.
Crazy on Meet the Browns, the movie Meet the Browns. Oh my God. When she was in the grave, when they pushed her in the, oh my goodness gracious, Lord have mercy. But anyway, she's just about everybody's mama. She was a wedding planner in Family Reunion.
She was the mom on. Oh my gosh, what's the name of the movie?
Well, she's the grandma on
Tina Turner.
Blackish.
On Tina Turner.
Right. On Tina Turner's movie. But she's a mom. She's the mom on Blackish. She's a grandmom on Blackish. Because yeah.
I love her in Blackish. And she was the mom also on The Temptations. That's what it was.
Yes. She was the mom on Temptations. Jennifer Lewis. Josh said Cicely Tyson on Roots. Yes. Cicely Tyson in any movie.
Anything.
In anything. Anything.
She was the aunt on Fresh Prince when they went in the mountains. That's right.
Yep. And she was on a different world. She was on a different world, Jennifer Lewis. She's had a lot of roles. A lot of roles. So we got TV and movie. What other moms we talking about today?
Other moms, the other moms is the athlete's mom.
Sports moms. Okay.
Sports moms, athlete's mom.
I like Kevin Durant's mom. I love Mama Durant. I do. Yes. I like her story. I like the way that she supports him. I like what she did for him, when he was young, living in DC, PG County in DC. I love it.
I love the movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love Mama Durant. She the MVP. Love it.
I'm going to have to say I love Mama Iverson.
I do too. Now that's a straight up no chaser woman right there. She's straight up no chaser. She gonna tell you like a TI is and not worry about it. She speaks her mind. I love Mama Iverson. I love Mama McGee, JaVale McGee's mom. Love her too. I like Shaq's mom. She's she's wise. I love a wise mom. And she's not one of those moms, her son get money, then she wants to start flossing and, living the high life off her son. She's perfectly happy with the average things that she was used to before. But she gave him the best piece of advice that I ever heard him say when he talked about spending his money. She was like, you don't have to spend your money on everything. Save some. You got to put this money up. You spend this, you invest that. And he did exactly what she said. And that's the reason why he's successful today. And now he's passing those same lessons down to his children. And some of us that's listening, me included, I follow Shaq, what he does. Like his big chicken franchise, growing. Yeah. They're spreading all up and down the West Coast now. Started out in Texas. I think it was Texas or Arizona, one of the two.
I don't think I've been to Big Chickens. I hope it's over there in Cal. It's a big. Hey, Josh, is a Big Chickens near you?
Well, they need to bring one over here. They need to bring them to North Carolina because there's a lack of good wing spots here.
But y'all got the barbecue.
Yeah, but we like wings too. We like chicken wings too. We don't just like barbecue.
Is a Wingstop near you?
I don't. They're okay. They've improved, but I'm not a big fan of Wingstop in general.
Now I'm gonna tell you some places that I noticed they got pretty good wings, but it's very underrated. The supermarket has some pretty good wings that was very underrated. Pretty good fried chicken wings.
Depends on who. I guess it depends on whose supermarket you got. But you're right.
What we got? We got Fresh Grocer, ShopRite. Pathmark used to have good one. I don't know what happened. I think Pathmark went out of business.
Y'all still have ShopRite?
Yeah, we got ShopRite and Fresh Grocer's cousin.
Oh, okay. Cousin, huh? Jonathan Benton said, Sharon, y'all got Bojangles. Leave some for everyone else. We don't. Bojangles ain't a place you go for good chicken wings. Man, shut up.
That's like
Bojangles is just so.
That's like people telling us to go to Chickies and Pete's for cheesesteaks. Oh, go to Chickies. Go to not Chickies and Pete's. Go to Go to Pat's or go to Geno's. You get a good cheesesteak. Negative. We don't eat. You from Philly? You don't eat cheesesteaks from Pat's and Geno's. Unless it's 4 in the morning, ain't nothing else open.
Well, everybody's got those 4 a.m. places. Yeah. You'll make do at 4 a.m. when you're really hungry and gotta have something. You'll make do. But yeah, Shaq need to bring Big Chicken to Durham, North Carolina. That's where he needs to bring it. Not Charlotte, not Raleigh, Durham. We appreciate good food here.
Now you have a question about situations for men.
Yeah. I was thinking about this from that video that was making its rounds about a year ago. And there's this guy sitting in the car and his mama is sitting up front and the girlfriend is mad because the mama is sitting up front. And she cussing him out, calling him a mama's boy. And he's cussing her out, talking about how, first of all, they both have bad language and they're saying it in front of this woman they're supposed to have respect for, but that's a whole nother story. He cussing her out, talking about, that's right, my mama's sitting up here in the front. So my question came to mind to men, because I don't have the same question for women about does your dad or your man sit up front. That it's just not even a question about that. But when a man is driving with their mom and a girlfriend or wife, who sits in the front seat with the man that's driving? The mom or the girlfriend? I really want to know what men think. I got my answer, but whatever. I want to know what y'all think. So that's my question for you. If you married or you got a girl, who sits in the front with you?
I think it's the mom, personally.
So what would you say to the girlfriend or wife who gets upset with you? What would you say to her?
She could drive. I sit in the back.
Okay, she's not driving. Let's just say that's not an option. She don't have a driver's license, is suspended, whatever. She can't drive. Let's just say that. Well, what would you say to her besides she could drive, Dennis?
Respectfully, my mother's gonna sit in the front. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And why do you feel that the mom should sit in the front?
Because if the roles was reversed, her dad should sit in the front, now she's in the back.
But why do you feel this way? I need to know the why.
That's a respectful thing. That's
to elders. Right, to elders, right? Okay. All right. I wanted you to say it. I didn't want to say it for you.
Not a lot of people respect elders no more. So that's the problem.
So you saw that video that I was talking about.
Yeah, I seen that. They did that last year.
Do you feel like she just didn't have respect for her mom, for his mom?
I think so, yes.
I do too, because she was nasty. She was nasty about it. She was cussing in front of her and everything. Josh said, as long as I get there, I don't care.
Right. She got mad. She
get it.
Hey,
we get it.
You drive, I sit in the back. You that mad.
But the woman was making a huge deal out of the fact that she shouldn't have to sit in the back. I shouldn't have to sit in the back. I'm your wife. I'm the wife or girlfriend. Wasn't she just a girlfriend? I don't remember.
Josh, thanks for the stars, Josh. I think she was. I'm gonna say she was the wife. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt that she was at the highest title that she's supposed to be. Let's just say she was the wife. Okay, you was the wife, and let's just say you bought the car. Let's say your husband ain't got no job, so you bought the car. If it's that much, you drive it. Let him sit in the back.
Jay Jones said, if my woman can't respect my grandma sitting in the front, I'm getting a new woman. Right. Amen. Because see, for me, as a wife, if he's driving me and his mother, I'm automatically going to the back seat. I mean, there's no question. I'm going to the back seat. And if she insists, oh no, baby, that's okay. No, ma'am. I'm making her sit in the front seat. I'm not sitting up there. I'm sitting in the back. You will sit in the front, ma'am. That's just me. It used to kill me when my mother and my sister and I would go somewhere and mom would want to sit in the back. Oh, it would tear me up. No, mom, you got to sit in the front. No, I want to sit in the back and lay down, stretch my legs. She used to put it on. She want to stretch her leg because, she has some arthritis as she got older. I want to stretch my leg. And we used to look at her like, she just trying to do that back seat thing. And so we would let her if she would say that. But no, most of the time we made her sit in the front. It's just respect. That's how we roll. Josh said, whoever say shotgun.
Josh crazy.
But anyway, Lacey J said, I've been in this situation and I helped his mom in the front seat and happily sat in the back. She told me it was okay, but I wasn't raised that way. That's right. I'll sit in the back. Now, if I go to the car and she's already in the back, that's a different story. But, I will say to her one time, oh, no, ma'am, you need to sit in the front, but that's it.
I don't know where shotgun came from, but let me read this one by the guru. He says, I love my mom, but she's almost 80. My lady sits up front, and I not only respect elders, I dropped everything I was doing to take care of mine. Actions speaking louder than words. P.S. Some women would diffuse this, but honestly speaking, I don't think she has to. Okay.
That's cool.
No, yo, Elise is crazy. She gonna say now his sister.
Lacey J.
Like I said, y'all can drive. I'll sit in the back.
Josh said, where did shotgun come from? Because shotgun, okay, when you do a drive-by, the person in the passenger seat is the one that's really going to be doing the shooting.
What? The drive-by was your initiation of shotgun?
The driver ain't doing it. The person in the seat, they usually the one with the shotgun that's going to do the shooting. That's what he asked, where did the word shotgun, calling shotgun come from?
What in the heezies? We just gave a whole drive-by reference.
I'm just telling you, that's where it came from back in the day. Look it up. No.
Welcome to the side, Jawn, where anything goes.
Hey, it does. Anything goes. I've said that. I put that on the flyer. Nothing's off limits. But I think that's where it come from. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care about being corrected. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Now, everybody that's in the comments, I need y'all for this one too. I need to know, what is your favorite mama song? Because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of mama songs out there. And I need to know, what's your favorite mama song?
What's yours, Dennis? I've really been waiting to know what yours is.
It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up on these mama songs, man. Tupac got Dear Mama. I love Kanye West, Hey Mama. I love that one. That'll probably be number one. Kanye West, Hey Mama. Because that used to be my mom's ringtone.
Hey Mama.
Yeah,
it's all right. All right, so here's a list of mama songs. I'm just going to give a brief list. There's a lot of them. A Song for Mama, Boys to Men.
Shout out to them. They did a great job.
Hey Mama by Ye. I'll Always Love My Mama by The Intruders. Dear Mama, Tupac. Mama Said Knock You Out, LL.
That's a mama song?
That's a mama song. It's on the list. It's got mama in it. Mama Said by the Shirelles. Oh Mother by Christina Aguilera. They put Look What You've Done by Drake on here. I don't even know that song, but okay. But they put that on there. Mama's Hand, Queen Naja. Mama Used to Say. Remember Mama Used to Say by Junior?
Yeah.
Mama New Love by Anthony. No, that's not. They got that wrong. But anyway, That's all the mama songs that's on
They
here.
don't have Sadie on it.
I was about to say they don't have Sadie.
Yeah, I like Sadie.
Mm.
They don't even have the Temptations mama song on there. That's how they got their record then.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, my favorite mama song has always been and will always be probably I'll Always Love My Mama by the Intruders, 1973. That song, at least once during Mama Day, I will play it. I have posted it on my Facebook page. I just love that song. You only get one, you only get one. Yeah, I can hear the song playing right now. I'll always love my mama. She's my favorite girl. That's it for me.
Oh, Jay Jones said Aretha Franklin respect. Because every time he got out of pocket, about to get my ass beat, respect started playing. Yo, that is crazy. I don't got no ass whooping songs.
JB said it's only one, Dennis, and you know what it is.
Yeah, he probably talking about Dear Mama. Tupac.
Oh, Tupac.
I'm going with Kanye West.
I'll never pick him for anything, really. Mm. He all right. Shout out to Doug. He all right. Doug said, I don't like nobody. Yes, I do. But anyway, yeah, that's my favorite mama song. So put your favorite mama song in the comments if you haven't already.
Now you were saying, have you ever been in a fight? Have you ever been in a fight because somebody said something about your mom? Now I haven't been in a fight.
You haven't?
I haven't been in a fight, but I have been to a point where we were we was calling it killing in our town. And I think it's called bussing back before that. And I don't know what they call it now. But we were going back and forth with jokes on mamas because we grew up together, so we knew each other. We knew each other mamas. So we would tell jokes about each other's mamas. And yeah, it was one of them. We was going back and forth, and I wasn't letting you get the best of the jokes that you had for my mama. Still one of my homies to this day, my homie Hot. We still to this day, we tell crazy jokes like that.
Well,
but it's never been physical, never been to a hateful point. It was just jokes and that's it.
Well, nobody ever made jokes about my mama. But what I'm talking about, when you about to fight and you say something about somebody and they say, yo mama, back in my day, when you say yo mama is fighting words. Don't be talking about my mama, you took it seriously. It wasn't a joke. That's just the way it was. You do not say yo mama. And I'm on the bus and this dude, he threw a can. He was trying to throw the can at somebody else and it missed the person because he can't throw and cut me on the arm. So I'm bleeding. Yeah, the can, because when you crush a can, it gets those jagged edges on it and stuff. So he threw the can and hit me on the bus. I jumped up. I said, what the? I'm like, what the hell are you doing throwing? What you doing? Don't be throwing shit back. You cut my arm. I was mad. I'm looking at my arm right now. I can see where it cut me at right here. To this day. I was so mad. I was like, you cut me. And he was like, so? I'm like, so? Oh, no. You're not going to cut me and then say so. So we going back and forth. And he said, yo, mama. I lost it. Knocked the crap out of him. We got to fighting. We fight on the bus. And finally the bus driver stopped and people and broke it up and all that. And I was mad. I was like, I was all in his face. And the bus driver put him up front and I stayed in the back. And everybody's like, dang, she beat his ass. She beat his ass. Ah. And so they started laughing at him because I beat him up on the bar. I beat him up. But I broke my glasses. Ah. So I had to go home. And see, usually when I would get in a fight on the bus or at school, my mom wouldn't find out about it. That was the running joke. She would not find out about it. Mom and dad, I should say. But this time I had to say something because my glasses broke. So I'm to go home and tell Mom and Daddy. I said, Mom, Dad, got in a fight, broke my glasses. My mother was so bad. She put me on punishment because I broke my glasses. Because she had to go buy new glasses now.
Oh, she was worried about it. she didn't even ask you. Well, are you hurt? Did the fight, was you hurt? No, she knew that already. No.
Oh, she knew that. She knew I wasn't hurt because all I had was the cut, so she, put some stuff on it, did that with the cut. But the rest of it, no. No. Yes, Damon. I got in a fight because he said, your mama. That's how it was back then when I was growing up. That's how it was. You don't say that unless you want to fight. When you want to fight, that's what you say, your mama. So anyway, I handled it, but then I had to pay because Mom had to buy me new glasses. Eye plans back then didn't give you free glasses or replace glasses for free. Yeah, Mama did say that, Sheila. Mama said, don't ever fight on her behalf. She can stand up for herself. But Mom, it wasn't. I was like, but Mom, it's not about that. It's that I'm not gonna sit there and let him say yo mama in front of everybody. I had to beat him up. I mean, that was just the way it was back then. So anyway. So yeah, that was my one time getting in the fight because somebody said yo mama.
Yeah, I ain't had those situations. None of them at all. So now, do you have any final words for the lovely people that came out to see us today?
Well, being a mother is a wonderful station in life to have. To be a parent, there's nothing like it. It's the hardest job in the world to be a mother. Father too, and we'll talk about fathers on Father's Day show. We do plan on doing that, folks. But it's the greatest role in the world that I've ever had, is to be a mother. And I look at my son. He's 28, going on 29. He's a father now. He's responsible. He's healthy. He's safe. And I'm just so grateful. So this is my final thoughts. If you're a parent, hug your kids, tell them you love them every day, if you can. If you're a child of a parent that's still living, let your mother know. Give her flowers. Tell her how much you love her, how much she means to you. Just tell her. Don't assume that she knows. Because even though she knows, she wants to hear it. Speaking as a mom, I know without a doubt my son loves me. But there is no greater sound in the world than hearing him say it. Don't take your mom for granted, because anything can happen. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And if you have your mom, she's a good mom and you love her, just let her know. whoever that woman is, whether she's your mom, your blood mom, your grandma, your auntie, whoever you look at as your mother figure, is what I'm saying. Because families are all different. Every family is not the same. Just love her. And moms, love your children and let them know that you love them. It goes both ways. It's very important that children hear from you that you love them. Because all children want from their mama, they want her to be proud of them. They want her to accept them no matter how they are. And they want her to love them. So those are my final thoughts. I love my mom. May she rest in peace. I miss her. And I'm going to continue the rest of my days carrying out her legacy the best I can.
Well,
So
my final
thank
words.
you all.
That was beautiful. My final words, I would have to say, is, you know, some things, you know, you tend to take for granted in life, and I had to learn how to appreciate these things later. You know, I was talking to some people that I grew up with, and you know, I was always wondering why they do their kids' birthdays so big. Like, why you spend all this money on your kid's birthday? I never had a birthday party. You never had a birthday party? No, I never had a birthday party. Wow. I had birthday parties at plenty of places. Huh? Like, now that I'm older, I have birthday parties for my daughter, and I'm just sitting back like, my mom even had a birthday party for me at McDonald's. Like, you ain't never had not one birthday party? Like, they ain't throw a block party for you or nothing? No. So I make sure I just have one for my kids all the time. And that's when I sat back and I realized, I was like, you know, no matter what, on my birthday, my mom makes sure I always get ice cream and cake. No matter what's going on. We've been the brokest of broke.
Mm-hmm.
Always had ice cream and cake, no matter what. And I always appreciated my mom for always doing that. At first, I didn't pay attention to it. You know, it was my birthday. I thought those things were supposed to happen until I started meeting people that actually don't do nothing for the, like, I knew some people that their whole family didn't even know it was their birthday.
Wow.
I was like, what? They didn't know it was your birthday? No, they didn't know it was my birthday. They thought it was just a regular day. I was like, you ain't say nothing to nobody? She was like, no, I thought they should be acknowledging me. It's my birthday. It's like, oh, okay. Wow, that's crazy. So
wow.
I'm always appreciative of my mom, you know, taking care of me on my birthday, always giving me ice cream and cake. I don't ever really be wanting anything too big, but she always gives me ice cream and cake for my birthday. And she always gets me a card on Father's Day. I've always gotten a gift on Father's Day from my mom.
That's cool.
She always told me how proud she was that you know, how the job I was on as a father.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Man. So to all the mothers out there, thank y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. You know, don't ever take this day for granted. Sharon, happy Mother's Day to you, baby.
Thank you. You know, thank you so much.
You keep teaching, and you keep us on how to be better. This is the Side Jawn. Thank y'all for coming out today. God bless. Great day.